Welcome, FNUSA57 here. Once again, I am back on my Xbox. We are playing some Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies. And today I am going for the new limited time game mode, the Cowabunga Cranked. This is going to be basically the hardcore version of the normal Easter egg, and we will be going in on this for Liberty Falls. So wish me luck. I'll explain everything that you need to do along the way, and we are going to get this done, fingers crossed, solo. So obviously, new game mode, and it's a little bit questionable, but you can do all of the new maps that exist in the game, again, just basically on hardcore for a few extra rewards. So we'll be going after Liberty Falls, which is going to give us a wall power gobble, 10,000 XP, and the same exact animated calling card, except if you can kind of see that little tiny turtle shell in the bottom right hand corner. So I'll give you my opinion on it just to be, perfectly 100% transparent, and we'll go through and get started. Now, you can do this in a team, and you can do it solo. Arguably, it's 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other in terms of, is it more difficult to do solo versus more difficult to do in a team? A well-coordinated team willing to use gobbles will make this easier, but a uncoordinated team will lead to probably premature baldness. So, let's go ahead and cover the loadout first, as well as the sneaky effects. So I'm just going to get sneaky effects out of the way so everybody knows. If you go over to the store, there are 4 brand new character bundles, and the game does not tell you, but if you look at the bundle, you are going to get a operator skin. If you use one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle operator skins, you do get a passive buff, specifically in this limited time event mode, which is you take 50% reduced damage from behind. It's not really game-breaking, but the fact that it's locked behind a paid operator, and of course then you have the event that doesn't come out for almost another week for the premium pass that locks an even more broken buff for the operator that comes in, that is questionable. Like, come on, dev team, that's definitely a bit of a points grab right there. Then again, to be completely blatantly honest, this entire event is nothing but a ball grab. Gum balls, to be precise. Which we will cover exactly what you need. So, field upgrade doesn't matter. The game doesn't tell you unless you go to the patch notes, but you don't get to use your field upgrade. Melee weapon, again, does not matter, but I do highly recommend that you bring in a decoy. That's going to be your best option for starting. Lethal doesn't matter. Frag grenade will make this a little bit easier because pretty much what we have to do here is a speed run. But we are not only going to be fighting the clock, we will have to micromanage our zombies. Yay, fun times. So, as far as weapons, you can use whatever you want. However, to make it the easiest, I have 3 weapons that I would suggest you choose from. Options being the ASG shotgun with Dragon's Breath. So, if you want to take a look at the augments, scope doesn't really matter. Suppressor, regardless of the weapon that you use. And then, Ranger Grip, Extended Mag, Commando Grip, Light Stock. I like the Steady Aim Laser and Dragon's Breath. Very good weapon. Downside is you're most of the time not going to be getting a crit kill because the Dragon's Breath will be what gets the kill, so point value is going to be at a minimum. In my testing runs, the ASG was the easiest to get the farthest. However, we had the least number of points. The run where we had the most points was the run that we did with the second contestant here, which is the LR762 Sniper. If you don't know, the Sniper becomes a explosive weapon once pack-a-punched. Very high damage, relatively slow fire rate, relatively low ammo capacity. Again, same thing as normal with the reinforced barrel, Ranger handguard, Commando grip. This time, we are using the balanced stock on here. It does give a movement speed buff for the sniper rifle. You can also use the light stock. That's the only discrepancy from normal, and obviously no laser. Now, this was the slowest run because I'm using a very precise weapon, but I had the most points the fastest. Downside is, in the boss fight, you have low ammo capacity and you have a slow fire rate. The run where I was the fastest was using the GS45s. Unfortunately, this was also the rockiest run. Again, I know my overlay does cover up some of the stuff here, but we don't use an optic suppressor, like I said, on any weapon that you bring in for the increased salvage drop chance, and we're using the reinforced barrel, extended mags 2, akimboed, and rapid fire. You don't have to use akimboed, but you are cutting your potential damage in half, and you're not increasing your ammo capacity. So yeah, unfortunately the GS45, once again, when you pack a punch, it becomes an explosive weapon, which means that we have to be very strategic about how we're going to do this. So I will be bringing in the GS45s since we had the best luck with that weapon. So I would recommend, in order, GS45s, the ASG, and then last but not least, but for a high skill level, the LR762. That would be what I would recommend. There are no wall buys in this mode, by the way, so you're limited to either bringing the weapon with you or you're going to have to get it from the mystery box. Now, Gobblegums. We have built 3 Gobblegum packs, and that's why I mentioned the joke about this being a ball grab, because you can do this without the use of gobbles. Just throwing it out there, you can check my stream. I had everything set up for the boss fight except my weapons. I wanted to pack a punch a bit more, and that was all done knowing nothing about the mode, using no gobbles on my very first attempt, and we had it set up by wave 18. But we want and need to be faster than that. So we're going to use gobbles for this, and one of two things is going to happen. We're either going to get super lucky or we're not going to get super lucky, and I'm going to cover both ways that you need. So regardless of what you want to do, you'll at least know what you need to do. My first pack is going to be the 3 gobbles that I need right off the bat. Crate Power, Who's Keeping Score, and Wonder Bar. Now, if we get lucky, which is a 50% chance that we're going to get what we need, we'll get the jet gun from the mystery box and it'll be pack-a-punched. Great. If it's not the jet gun and it's the ray gun, well, if you want to, if you have enough wonder bars, you could simply quit the game, load it back up, and keep trying till you get the run where you get the jet gun from the box. Because if you get the jet gun from the mystery box, this makes it like at least tenfold easier, if not more. But if you don't get the jet gun from the mystery box, or you're not willing to use a wonder bar, you're going to have to build it. So we'll see what happens when we get in the game. I also have a Perkaholic because I am going to have 1 hit on the gobble machine, and I would recommend using the Perkaholic. The shields up is there just because it's not a bad gumball. Then after we get the mystery box, regardless of what happens, we're going to switch to our mid-game gobble pack, which is going to have our Perkaholic, our hidden power, Timed Out, which is usable in this mode, Dead Drop, and Idolize. Now, they're not all going to need to be used, because if we get the jet gun from the mystery box, well, we don't need to worry about salvage, so technically you could save your hidden power. You don't need Dead Drop at that point, but it's personal preference. You also won't need the Idolize unless you really want to bring it into the boss fight. Then, once we are built to kind of what we need, we're going to switch to our boss gumball pack, and we're going to try to get either the Killjoy and Temporal Gift, or Killjoy and Shields Up, and then the Timed Out gobble to go into the boss fight. Hey, Acolyte of Suffering, good morning. So basically, Timed Out stops the timer for 3 minutes because it stops all zombie spawns for 3 minutes. So there's 2 points in the game where, while we do this, we can take advantage of the Timed Out gobble. During the boss fight, you don't need it, but you can take advantage of it in case the Mangler glitches out. I have had that happen only one time, where the Mangler spawned in the cemetery instead of in the boss battle, and no other zombies would spawn until we were able to drag the Mangler back and kill it through the wall. So if that happens, you would die to the timer unless you can stop the timer, hence the Timed Out gobble. But the pack that we need to bring in to start is going to be this first pack that I have equipped, where we have the Crate Power, Who's Keeping Score, and Wonder Bar. Again, you can do this without gobbles, but doing it without gobbles is going to make your life at least 20 times more difficult, because everything is going to have to go perfect, and building the jet gun, more often than not, without the use of any gobbles, it's going to be about round 8. Somewhere between round 7 and 8. The earliest I've built it without any gobbles, I got really lucky on salvage drops, and I was able to build the jet gun on the beginning of round 5. So it is possible, it's just how many attempts do you want to make. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into this. Wish me luck. I will be going in on a squad fill game, so in case anything happens to my game where it crashes, it does not overwrite my other saved file, but we will use squad fill off, so we will be the only player in the game. You're simply going to go to the Cowabunga Cranked game mode, make sure squad fill's off, play in squad, and we will select Liberty Falls. So I'll show you all the rewards at the end. Wish me luck. Alright, Cowabunga Cranked, let's go. Now, I know that was a long explanation before gameplay, so thank you for bearing with me, folks. But there was a reason for it. There is a lot to keep track of in this game mode. And in the beginning, since we are solo, we can thankfully pause the game. We can use this time to activate a double XP, and I'm going to use this time to go ahead and disable my stream overlay so you can actively see my health and armor bars, as well as the essence and salvage that we're working with. Sorry about that. This cough will not go away. I have access to switch my gobble packs, but I'm not going to change that just yet. I think I should use a double XP token for this. Don't you guys think I should use a double XP token? So we're just going to activate a double XP token because we can, and we are going to get started with the game. Now, initially, obviously, you don't have access to your field upgrade, and we're going to need to do things in a very specific manner. So I will take advantage of a lot of side Easter eggs. I'm going to use the vending machine. I'm going to come up here and trigger these zombies so that we have as many zombies on wave 1 as possible. Now, you'll notice we don't have the pesky little rampage inducer, but the mystery box is in every location. So technically speaking, if you were trying to do this strategy where you just used Wonder Bar, if you got the Wonder Weapon from the mystery box, fantastic. If you get the jet gun, you know, you keep playing. If you don't get the jet gun, you just, you know, quit and reset. You could very easily do that. The only thing that you would be wasting is you would be wasting the Wonder Bar and/or Wonder Bar and Crate Power. So just keep that in mind. If you want to do it that way, you can. But I don't know. I don't know. All right, I've done everything. We got good luck going on here. Let's try it. Let's go for it. We're going to pop our Wonder Bar, and we are going to pop our Crate Power. I'm just going to make sure these zombies are over here. You want them away from the box just to give yourself some breathing room. And then hope you get the jet gun. So come to daddy. We'll get that in just a moment, though, because we don't have enough points. That's why we are going to do this just a little bit differently. If I used a raindrops, we would have enough points, but we're going to hit that box on round 2. Alright. I really wish I brought in Temporal Gift for this. I got my double points, and I am going to try to get as many crit kills as possible. Now remember that, unfortunately, we're using akimboed weapons. So, akimboed means we're not going to get as many crit kills, and we do need to pick up every single piece of salvage that we possibly can. We'll need enough to buy this door. And depending on the weapon that you have, if you have enough time, you can kind of try to hit that bonus points up there. If you have a more precise weapon, you can hit the bonus points. But if you don't have a precise weapon, then you're not going to be able to hit it. As soon as you kill a zombie foot soldier, that is when the clock starts. And unfortunate as it might be, it goes down each round. So we're going to be real quick and... Come on, mystery box. Good luck, jet gun. I need a jet gun. Come on. Come on, come on. Daddy did not get a jet gun. We got a ray gun. That is unfortunate. Alright, so we gotta move. Now you'll notice that these zombies are worth more, but we have to actually kill the zombies to get this going. And it's very unfortunate that we did not get the jet gun, because now this is going to be more difficult than it needs to be. Shields up, I'll take it. We're going to pause the game real quick, and we are going to switch gobblegum packs, because now we need all of our other gobbles. That is super, super unfortunate that I did not get the jet gun there. Alright, though. We can still do this. And we need to follow a very specific path while killing only a minimal amount of zombies. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through the bank. And if you want to buy Jug, you could buy Jug, tentatively speaking. Now, you do start this game mode with a 3-plate armor vest. And if you get the jet gun from the mystery box, then you don't actually have to do these steps to build the jet gun. So we need a little bit more money, and we need more salvage. We got to get into the bowling alley here, which I was really hoping to get the jet gun, so I didn't actually do that. Alright, perfect, perfect. I'm going to kill a zombie just to keep this timer going. We're going to go ahead and... You can't tell when you're going to switch the round, so we're going to put the valve in. I do have 2 decoy grenades, which is absolutely huge for this step. Because right now we flip the round, but we have some free zombies. So we need to effectively build this, and we need to focus on killing the purple-eyed zombies, specifically. We only want to kill the purple-eyed zombies. So we can get some time by using that decoy. Building the jet gun, especially while fighting the cranked timer, is not ideal. We can do it without it, but we do have the nice, wonderful ray gun. So we might as well use the ray gun while focusing specifically on killing purple-eyed zombies or vermin. We're on an early enough round that the vermin are guaranteed to be ones that don't actually count towards the round, so we can kill them without any issue. And then we can come back. If you want to stay in here and farm the purple-eyed zombies, if you're using a weapon that you're confident that you'll only kill the purple-eyed zombies with, you can do that, because again, they don't count for the round, but they do drop equipment, and they do, most importantly, drop salvage, which we need a lot of salvage. Of course, there gets to be a lot of zombies in here, which is why I said that shields up was a convenient thing to have, since we did not get our perkaholic. And again, we're going to just kill the purple-eyed zombies only, and then we'll work a little bit more on the wheel. Now, this next part is entirely personal preference. If you have the ammo for it, and say, like I do, I got the unfortunate ray gun, I can specifically target these purple-eyed zombies, making sure not to kill the regular yellow zombies, and that's going to refresh my timer, so I'm not going to die from not killing anything. I'm not going to really accumulate points, so this isn't an effective way to farm points, but it is a very effective way to farm a little bit of extra salvage. I stress a little bit because the salvage drop rate is not great for purple-eyed zombies, and if you're using a explosive weapon that doesn't have a suppressor, i.e. the wonder weapon like the ray gun, then your chances of getting salvage go down even higher. So I wouldn't recommend that you waste too much time on this. I would just finish the finish the pressure valve for the jet gun as quickly as possible. That's going to despawn the zombies. You can grab that. You can go to the crafting bench if you want to craft something. That is entirely up to you. If you're willing to use a perkaholic, then obviously use the perkaholic. We are hoping for a perkaholic. What did I get? I got an idolize. That is unfortunate. So I did not get the gumball that I needed this round. Now what I need to do is spend my time wisely. We are not buying perks because we need 68,000 specifically. 68,000 points to buy all of the required doors and the Pack-a-Punch. The biggest problem is transition. While we are moving and the zombies are not spawning, they are going to be burning down this cranked timer. Now, if you get all headshots, then you will be in a better spot than I. So once we get up here to the church, we're going to be able to go for the second part. But of course, we need some money and we need some salvage, so we are pretty much limited here on we need to kill zombies. And that's why we didn't kill that many zombies earlier, because we need to get the groundskeeper to spawn. And you need to kill, somewhere usually around 30 zombies, or go through about half of the wave in order to actually get the groundskeeper to spawn. So we're just going to get some zombie kills here. Alright, the round just flipped, so we're on to round 4. Whenever the round flips, your timer max time goes down, which is very unfortunate. I don't like that mechanic. I don't like that mechanic at all. And that's why we are fighting the timer, and we are fighting the wave count. Now, what do we have? We have a hidden power. Alright, that's going to be quite handy. I'm going to use that so I don't have to waste my salvage. We're going to grab that on our GS45s. This way we can have a higher salvage drop. And now we need the points to open the door while, again, staying in the graveyard, just in case we can get the groundskeeper to do his thing and spawn a little bit early. And hopefully we can. So we'll have to kill about half the wave, which now that we have legendary rarity on these pistols, well, it only takes a couple of bullets to kill the zombies. You're going to be looking for the dot that is out of place. Pizza slices refill a chunk of the timer. I don't see the groundskeeper yet, which I highly recommend that you actually open the church as early as possible, go into the church, and you want to make sure that you break all of these crystals. Again, this is for the ability to get more salvage. It's not 100% mission critical, but it will make it easier in the long run, because we need 1,250 salvage to waste to build the jet gun. And we also need our salvage for, just if we need an extra decoy or anything like that. So what you want to do, make sure you have some time on the timer, because we'll despawn the zombies, interact with the machine. Now remember, we can pause the timer. That's what we have. And sometimes when you do that, Mr. Gravekeeper will spawn. He does give you time. We'll grab his key. And then we're going to go back here to the left. I am going to pause the game right here just because I want to give everybody a quick PSA tip. While you can go either direction on the map, you can go from the starting spawn area, like on top of the roof when you spawn in, you can go to the right like I did, or you can go to the left, and most players will tell you to go to the left. It is the exact same cost indoors if you go to the left or if you go to the right. The only difference is you have to backtrack through the bank more often if you go to the left. So I prefer to go to the right, which also unlocks this zip line, giving me access to the building roof, allowing me to just move around faster and potentially hit the vending machine or hit the mystery box, or, you know, just do things in a little bit quicker manner. So that's why I do what I do there. And of course, if you get the jet gun from the mystery box, then you actually don't have to even worry about going and unlocking the bowling alley because, well, you don't use it at all. So now what we need to do is simply worry about the fact that we need to pack-a-punch our weapon, and the fact that we need to have 1,250 salvage, and we need to have that salvage as quickly as possible without burning through too many zombie kills. So the best way to get it is going to be to kill zombies. Avoid this power-up at all costs. This thing that looks like a little canister, that thing will get you killed. I will show what it does, but you don't want to use it. It transforms you into the turtle power-up. It does give you 300 HP in case, pretty much like having Jug with Probiotic, if you don't normally have Jug with Probiotic, and it gives you one of the random new melee weapons, the turtle weapons, at Legendary Rarity Pack-a-Punch 3. However, the game can bug out if you have this upgrade and you use the zip line. Plus, obviously, we're getting melee kills, which are worth less points, and in addition to that, they don't have as high a drop chance for salvage. So, just to show and make sure that we explain everything. Now, come on, give me a Perkaholic, give me a Perkaholic. Yes, we got a Perkaholic. Okay, we're in business here, boys. We're not going to use that Perkaholic right away, because right now we don't have a ammo mod. So all we want to do is focus on critical kills, which I should mention, all of the zombies in this game mode are worth more points than normal, and double points does stack with that. So we have our Perkaholic here. We're going to go back to the crafting bench. It's personal preference what you want to do. You can use this crafting bench and then go all the way around, or you can use the other crafting bench. It doesn't matter to me. Don't use the zipline with the melee weapon. I think it's a few seconds faster if you use the crafting bench down here by this door. So you could use that crafting bench if you wanted to. We're going to pull out the Mangler arm cannon and just blast that movie shop door open. You have to be careful. Sometimes those guys will grab your face. You want to be quick in here searching the junk piles, and of course grab what salvage you can. And now we actually need to build the jet gun. So we're building the jet gun on round 4. We got pretty lucky with the salvage, but I did get extra salvage from those crystals, and I did get extra salvage from the vending machine. Which, again, we can punch the vending machine. Maybe we'll get something good. We didn't get anything good. We're going to activate our field upgrade here to pause the timer. This way we can build the jet gun. If you want to take the jet gun into the boss fight, which I would recommend, you can. But I also do have the ray gun, so honestly, it's a tough choice. Do we take the jet gun or do we take the ray gun? Jet gun, ray gun. I don't know. It is unfortunate. So now we need to suck up the LTG parts. We need to do this as quickly as possible. You can't go prone with the jet gun out, which is really dumb and really annoying. We're going to keep our Perkaholic just, you know, on standby. We're going to hit the Gobble Gum machine again. Dead drop, that's not bad. It's not fantastic. Normally I wouldn't use the dead drop, but we are on wave 6. So we can go ahead and do this. The thing about dead drop is it's going to drop more salvage than normal. For some reason I just could not get up there. That's very unfortunate. I bounced off the top of the truck. But yeah, dead drop is just kind of one of those things that normally you would use to get salvage quickly. I want to have a mutant injector, hence why I am actually using the dead drop, but you don't have to. Then again, of course, we just need to move as quickly as we possibly can. We have one more part that we need to get for the LTG device. Which is going to be right here. you don't want to get stuck in the church. This is why I don't like the church. It's very easy to get stuck entering and exiting the church. And I'm trying to get enough points for Pack-a-Punch. Albeit that is not the easiest thing to do. So we're going to get the jet gun assembled. We're going to do some preliminary work. Alright, we got the LTG built. Now, I need to get some points, so ideally, we are going to get kills. We don't want that insta-kill. That insta-kill is actually going to hurt us in the long run. We just need enough points for Pack-a-Punch, which we have enough points for Pack-a-Punch now. I don't have enough salvage, so this is not 100% ideal. We're going to go ahead and pop our Perkaholic. And we will pack one our weapons here. So now, obviously, explosive pistols. Still on wave 6 here. And we are going to place the LTG device. Now we have to defend the LTG device for basically a minute against purple-eyed zombies. The purple-eyed zombies are going to go straight for the LTG device, and if they hit it, they are going to knock a chunk of its health bar out. Now, you can do this. It's difficult, but you can do this with just the jet gun. It's just not ideal. I'm also not using the jet gun because, well, I have a suppressor, and I'd rather have suppressed kills. Albeit, we're only getting 10 points, but suppressed kills mean greater chance of salvage. So we're able to kill these guys fairly quickly. Again, prioritize purple target. Just absolutely destroy the mangler that spawns. We don't want that guy around. Now, while the gateway portal stabilizes, you're going to come in here and you're going to grab this canister, which we won't be able to sprint, we won't be able to slide. But if one of you lab goats was going to survive, my money would have been on Pelletier. We can still jump, and of course our cranked timer is still going down. And I will show all of the augments that I'm using for this run after the run. Normally I show them in the beginning, but I'm going to show them at the end of the run just to make it a little bit easier. Now, depending on the HVT that you get either the Mangler or you can get the, whatever he's called. Personally, I think the Mangler's a little bit easier to do first, but it depends on the weapon that you have. Unfortunately, my gumball machine is on cooldown here, so I can't get the timed out Gobblegum. I would highly recommend that you do this with the timed out Gobblegum, because you're going to kill zombies while you are killing the HVT. It is physically impossible not to when you have a weapon that does explosive damage, which means you're going to be able to flip the round, and flipping the round is not what we want to do. So come on, give me my timed out, give me my timed out. Yes, alright, perfect. We got the timed out gobble. Fantastic. Now, because I already flipped the round, I'm going to use some of these zombies, but not all of these zombies, okay? We're only going to use some of them, and then kind of get an idea for when they stop spawning. In the meantime, we are going to weaken the HVT, and this is very important. Obviously, we're using an explosive weapon, and when you use an explosive weapon, you need to make sure that you have PhD Flopper. PhD Flopper is an absolute must, so you don't blow yourself to pieces. Now, looking at the zombies, it looks like the zombies have stopped spawning. And always make sure that you have a little bit of armor. There's still a decent chunk, a lot more than 3, but we're approaching the end of the wave here. So remember, I wanted maximum point value before I activate my timed out. Okay? I'm going to activate my timed out here in just a second. Let's pick this up. Let's get this guy in position. We're going to pop the timed out. And that's going to despawn all the zombies and switch the round. This guy is purple. We have 3 minutes of paused timer. So 3 minutes to do everything that we need to do. We're going to stand in the trap here, and we are going to just murder this guy. We'll grab our max ammo, and then we are gone. Now, for the 3-minute duration of timed out, we have no timer. The timer is stopped. That is why we are using timed out for this. Again, you don't have to use timed out, but you will flip more waves. So now we're going to grab that Strauss detector, and again, to save time, we're going to open this. We're going to use it. We know that this is yellow, so that's going to require 2 interactions, and then we are going to go back, and we are just going to slide our happy ass, even though it's not exactly that happy because, well, we've got road burn here. Green, that's not good. That means that it takes 3 interacts because this light needs to be red. And then we're going to take the path of least resistance to go back here to get on top of the zip line, which we're going to take on top of the roof here. If you needed to buy a perk, the Wonder Fizz is available. And then we are going to buy this door because we don't have our field upgrade. That's going to allow us to jump down on top of the ice cream shop roof. Again, that's green. So that means that that needs to be red. Since that's red, that allows us to go ahead and get the ether canister unlocked, which if you make a rookie mistake like I did, you're going to have to go back and get the LTG device. You don't want to make this rookie mistake because it burns a lot of time, but if you do, it's not the biggest mistake that you could possibly make. You just have to go back to it, grab it, and then you're good to go. We're going to take our zip line here, and we already opened this zip line, so we're just going to take this zip line all the way over to the church, or not church, but the gas station, and we're all set up. This canister has already been dark ethered, so we'll land right there, jump off the roof, drop the canister. Still have a little bit of time left, so we can do the defense sequence in relative peace. Now we're still going to get our zombie foot soldiers that are going to spawn. These are the ones that don't count towards the wave. They're the purple-eyed zombies. Careful of blowing yourself up when you blow up a vehicle. Remember, this does not stop elite and special zombies or non-normal spawning. So you're still going to get all of the zombies that you have to kill or keep from going into the portal. And then you'll hear that whistle, which means timed out has ended. So now the wave is going to start. So now we're getting the wave zombies as well. But at the very least, we did one entire thing, you know, without having to worry about flipping the rounds. We would have normally been on like wave 9 by now. Again, we're trying to prioritize only killing the zombies that are going for that objective. If you have decoy grenades, absolutely fantastic. If you don't have decoys at this point, you're going to need to craft them. And now we need to weaken this high value target, which is a little bit harder to do than the previous HVT. Because this guy does not like to open his mouth, or mouths, or eyes, or whatever you want to call it. Plus, he can kill our zombies, and we need zombies, and we don't have another timed out gobble. So we're going to get him close. He's very close. He's very mad. We're going to hit the trap, which the trap is going to kill shit. He needs to be in the trap with the canister. Then he's going to die. Bing, bang, boom, bada bing. We're going to grab the canister, and we're going to run like hell. Of course, that flipped to wave 9, and we missed a gobble. That's because the trap got the kills. But honestly, that's okay. It could be a lot worse. We could be in a much worse state right here. We still have our field upgrade. But, oh shoot, I dropped the canister. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. No. I hate that mechanic about if you slide, like the game lets you slide, but you drop the canister. Oh, man. Rookie mistake here, boys. Where's my canister? I'm not making it. I'm not making it in 30 seconds. I told you at the start of the video, if we make a rookie mistake, it's going to be bad for us. And boy, oh boy, that one is bad for us. Your movement speed is just non-existent when you have this canister. I don't know if I can make it in time. They give you enough time unless you accidentally drop the canister. Nope, we're not going to make it. The Dark Ether energy is going to leak out. And we failed. Yep. That is unfortunate. Okay. Not the worst thing that could happen to us, but we are definitely not having the best showing right here, folks. Not having the best showing. That is super unfortunate. So I had to use my timer pause here. We are going to switch Gobblegum Pack. So we're going to pause the game. Gobblegum Pack. I already used Hidden Power. I already used Perkaholic. So we are going to try to be getting our gum pack that we need for going into the boss fight. So we'll switch to that pack and hit this gobble machine. I also need to get a decoy grenade. I got a Killjoy. Thankfully, that is actually one of the gumballs that we want for the boss fight. You could use it before the boss fight, too. Now, the good thing is, because we killed the HVT before we flipped the round, nope, we have to do it all over again. So, we're going to have to flip the round to round 10. There's just no way around it. That is so unfortunate. I was doing so good on this run before making that mistake. Jeez. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Alright, so we're just going to flip the round to round 10. All we need to do is be able to summon another LTG, or not an LTG, but another HVT from the LTG. Alphabet Soup here. This guy's going to materialize. We're going to try to take him out again relatively quickly before killing the majority of the zombies wave. Which, again, folks, you know, anytime you add a timer to something, you just make it more complicated than it needs to be. So, like, I start rushing and making silly mistakes, which, to be honest, anybody can make those silly mistakes. You're going to want to grab that canister and you're going to want to get out of dodge. You do not, and I repeat, you do not want to actually flip the round if you can avoid flipping the round. But it is fairly difficult to avoid flipping the round. Because that trap is probably going to kill the vast majority of the enemies unless you have a decoy grenade and you throw the decoy grenade so that the enemies stay out of the trap. So you're best off just not making a rookie mistake. You need to just not make a mistake. Or just get the jet gun right off the bat. The jet gun's only required to build the LTG. You could also use it for the statues, but that's a whole nother can of worms. So again, personal preference. Now we are ready to summon the boss. So this is all good to go right now, which, yeah, I mean, it might be good to go, but we certainly aren't. All right, we need to get some stuff. So now this is the final prep stage. We need points, we need armor plates, we need our gobbles, but we don't want to advance the round all that much. Alright, I got a temporal gift. That's huge. Now if I can get my timed out, we'll be even better. There's a lot of zombies. We definitely want to eliminate this Mangler. Maybe he gives us a score streak that we need. Maybe he doesn't. You can also use the church Easter egg, that head up there, detonating it with any explosive after wave 10 will give you a blue ether tool. It also gives you some score streaks, you know, some armor plates. We don't want to blow up the cars. Chopper gunner isn't going to do us any good inside the boss fight. But the main thing is the ether tool, and again, I just wanted to show that, like, you have these options, these things that you can use. You know, we have our jet gun. We're just going to put the ether tool on our swords. There's a nice pizza slice right here. A little bit of salvage. Unfortunately, I got unlucky with the score streaks. There's a hand cannon, which isn't terrible, but it's not ideal. I need to go to round 12, though, because I don't have enough points here. But we do have enough salvage, so at this point, you can go into the boss fight whenever you want. Even though I made a rookie mistake, I'm still ready for the boss fight on round 11. I should have been able to go into the boss fight earlier, like, say, round 10, maybe round 9, if I didn't make a rookie mistake. But we need more salvage. Because we have Picky Eater on, we are unfortunately not going to have a very high chance of getting a decoy to drop by default. I want to make sure that I have my timer pause ready. So I need enough salvage to make a decoy, and I need enough salvage to make a other thingy. Yeah, I know, other thingy. Real technical terminology here, folks. So first off, I'm going to make the decoy so I have a higher chance of getting a decoy. And then we need to get 2,500 salvage to make a mutant injector. Again, we don't have to have it, so we're probably going to flip the round, which is okay. I really don't mind flipping the round here. Come on, give me my timed out. Keg power, not awful. Not bad. We're going to flip for one more round because, again, we need this salvage. And we're just not getting it. I'm not sure why that let me do it. Timed out. Bam, we got it. Alright, our boss fight loadout of gobbles is ready. Get rid of that guy. Nope, he didn't drop us what we wanted. That is incredibly unfortunate, but par for the course. Now we can check inside the church and see if any ether crystals respawned. Normally they do, but it looks like in this mode the ether crystals don't respawn, at least not consistently. So again, we're just gonna not kill all of the zombies. We don't want to kill all of the zombies. We just want to kill enough to get the 2,500 salvage and keep ourselves alive. Which I only have 16 seconds right now. I need a zombie. I need a zombie. Come on, don't do me like this game. Alright, 18 seconds. That's enough. Bam, mutant injector in hand. This is probably the best one for the boss fight. Not that many points here, folks. We don't have that many points. So normally we would want more points, but I think we are about as good as we can be. We're just going to kill a couple of zombies because we're going to have some despawn timer. And we're going to activate the boss fight. Okay, folks, here goes. This is do or die time. Unfortunately, there is a lot of downtime here, so we're waiting for zombies to spawn. Now it's all about killing, and we don't have to worry about flipping the round. You want to start this fight on as early a round as possible. As early a round that you're set up for. Because this is going to be just a bunch of zombie killing. Now, of course, the one other opportunity that I did not have, I would have had to flip the round one more time, would be if I had another 500 salvage. If I had another 500 salvage, I could have actually put a ammo mod on my weapons, and that would have been absolutely huge. But unfortunately, I don't have an ammo mod, so that's a lot of missed damage, man. It was a calculated decision, though, to not take an ammo mod. Simply because I didn't know if I was going to be able to get 500 salvage in one wave. And then my timer would be shorter. Right now I'm working with a 30-second maximum on the timer, which honestly is okay. Like, 30 seconds is entirely doable because we are killing a bunch of zombies. We also made sure to bring in frag grenades. You can bring in whatever lethal and tactical you want, but I feel like decoys and frags are the way to go for this. Armor plates are going to be rough. Armor plates just do not drop enough, and with the manglers, it's just never a good day. So we're just going to kind of blow up the manglers so that they kind of stop blowing us up. Voltrade is helping with the fact that my zombie killing preferred weapon eats through ammo extremely fast. That is the downside to the GS45s. They are ammo hogs. Now, conveniently, we have a max armor here. The thing about that max armor is it's not going to blink out of existence as quickly as normal power-ups do. So we can actually save that max armor a little bit longer than what we would normally be able to. And we are about to be out of ammo. So we will very quickly hit the Pack-a-Punch machine here. Now that we hit the Pack-a-Punch machine, our ammo is going to cost more, but obviously our weapon does more damage. And this is the point when having that nice, beautiful ammo mod would really be helpful to us. But we don't have it, so just have to remember this was a calculated risk. But it's still a risk nonetheless. We're going to save that max armor until we absolutely need it. Trying to be as efficient with our resources because our resources are very limited in this fight. Our ammo's limited. We don't have access to a field upgrade. And we still got to keep killing. Plus, if the Mangler is not where he's supposed to be, it's going to be a very bad day for us. Alright, I'm going to grab the max armor. Still got to worry about this timer. Kill that last guy. That's going to give us a max ammo, which we do kind of desperately need. I have enough money. I can buy more ammo. Remember, I can also use the lethals and tacticals that I'm getting to try to, supplement my ammo. And then don't forget that we have the jet gun. We can use the jet gun. This is great at sucking up regular zombies. We can also interrupt the HVTs with it, and we'll periodically get some of the ammo drops. If there's a decoy on the ground, we can go ahead and use a decoy. Now, decoys are not fantastic because decoys only attract the regular zombies. They do not attract the special or elite zombies. So this is where things are going to get hairy. We're going to have our big boy spawn, our elite here. I'm going to throw a decoy to get rid of the regular zombies while I pound as much damage as I can into the elite. We're doing this one armor plate at a time. Make sure that we don't pick up the melee upgrade. The melee upgrade sucks. We don't want it. But we do need to keep killing so that we can stay alive. Keep killing or we die. Keep killing or we die. Again, we can use the jet gun here. The jet gun isn't going to do much against the big guy, but we can use it to kill little guys. Get another plate in. Ammo's a little low. We got an ammo situation here. That's alright. We can use one of our frag grenades. Sometimes you can make that guy actually eat the grenade. It's usually one of those situations that works better if he is doing the laser beam attack. And when he eats the grenade, that means a big bada boom, one head is gone. So that's why we brought in frag grenades, because again, that's the easiest thing to do that with. You want to make sure that you kill off a decent chunk of the zombies. We're going to give a decoy grenade over there. Try to make him eat another frag. That plan did not work. Again, like I said, it's easiest to make him eat the grenade when he's doing the laser beam attack. You got to line it up really nice. Used to be able to insta-kill him if you blew up all 3 heads with a frag grenade. Unfortunately, that is something it seems like you can't do in this mode. But you'll kill him. And then, of course, you know, you're supposed to go down, but we had Dying Wish there. And a big bada boom, we're done. A little bit of cutscene action, which you can watch or you can skip. I'm gonna honestly just watch it because, you know, I'm a little sweaty from that. Like, we actually kind of had to try hard on this, even though I think I got myself a little more stressed about it than what I needed to, because, you know, we made some rookie mistakes, like not grabbing the LTG, rookie mistake, trying to slide with the canister, rookie mistake, but still, rookie mistake city. You know, that was 2 mistakes that I did not want to make. I wanted this run to be absolutely flawless, but it wasn't absolutely flawless. So you could choose to continue playing the game if you want. I don't know of anybody that actually would want to continue playing this mode, because the timer just goes down and goes down and goes down. But you have the rewards, and that's the big part. So we have the rewards. That is our biggest thing here. Now, if you choose to continue, there's really no zombies that you have to deal with, so you're gonna have to use your pause timer. You're still gonna get, you know, the different flawless stuff and things like that, but you can continue to play the game if you want to do so. It takes the zombies quite a while before they start spawning, so make sure that if you plan on hitting the continue button that you do have everything that you need. Also, make sure that your zip lines are open, because things are gonna get freaky. But we're gonna exfil. Do you think we can do it? I don't know. I got 3 waves. You know what? I figured I'd add a little extra challenge. I must be a glutton for punishment over here. So if you're watching on YouTube, I really hope that you do me the honor of smashing that like button on the video. You know, maybe leave me a nice spicy comment. You could order me a pizza as well if you really felt froggy, but I think it might be cold by the time it gets here. So all we're going to do is we are going to exfil so you get the full experience. I recommend staying in the beginning area. And I also recommend, if you have it in your Gobblegum packs, try to get yourself a keg power. That will make your life a lot easier. Or timed out, but obviously timed out is an ultra rare gumball, whereas keg power is just a pretty common one. So right now, I'm going to pop the Killjoy, just to get rid of the gumball, and I have so many Killjoys that it's not really a big deal. I'll buy myself a little bit of time here. We didn't even use our mutant injector. I just want to hit this gumball machine. Shields up, that's not bad. I'm also going to buy that door just so that I can go that way. Now, we're going to have this elite zombie to deal with, but, you know, we can just wreck him. Also, I should show, some of the score streaks, the time that you're calling it in, the timer still ticks down, but then, like, once you're in the kill streak, it stops ticking down. It's a little bit weird how that works. Again, I'll just pop that time, or that shields up just because we can. We don't have to, but, you know, come on, why not? Let's have a little bit of fun here. Double points? Sure, why not? Alright, wave 16. This is our exfil time. It's going to get kind of crazy because our timer is non-existent. This is why I recommended the power keg. So we'll be able to kill some zombies, you know. But then it's going to detonate a nuke. So you're going to have to use your ability to stop the timer because, yeah. It's going to be a little bit awkward if you have no zombies and you die because you have no zombies. Actually, it's going to be a lot awkward. So we'll take the zip line, we'll get that, and bam, we'll make it to exfil. Now, of course, we can, you know, kill zombies to refill our timer. We could use the mutant injector, which you see the timer is going down while we use the mutant injector. So, like, the process of activating the kill streak, the timer still counts down. But then the timer is locked at its maximum value, or whatever value it was when you actually were able to move and work in the kill streak. So that's why we are at this just permanent 15-second timer while we are in the kill streak. It makes exfilling a lot easier. You could also use it to your advantage in the boss fight or whatnot. And then the animation of deactivating the score streak, or the score streak ending, the timer ticks down on. So be careful with that. Also, the exfil chopper is changed. It is now a Channel 6 news helicopter, and as you've seen there are no pilots in that helicopter, which is, I mean, that's a little bit strange. I guess it is one of those new self-flying helicopters, you know, totally a thing. So we did that nice quick match. 48 minutes, definitely not getting the liberated calling card. Wasn't exactly a speed run, but that was the hardcore regular, well, not really regular, but the hardcore version of the regular Easter egg for Liberty Falls. With my double XP, I got 51,000 XP off of that, which is pretty cool. We can take a look at the rewards. Only 600 kills. We did earn a few gobblegums while playing, so I got my dead drop back. We got a Quacknar for the successful exfil. Most of our kills came from the explosive damage, hence why we only have 15 eliminations, air quotes, with the weapon. And then, of course, we also used the ray gun for that. But what everybody wants to know, I know, is did we get the rewards? So let's look at the rewards. We have the check mark. We got a free wall power gobblegum. We got 10,000 XP. I'm not sure if it doubled because I did have my double profile XP token active. And we got the calling card. Unfortunately, the calling card is a little bit funky to find. So the easiest way I have found to do the calling cards when you want to find them is to go to your calling card showcase, and then you can select a slot for it, and then we'll go over to zombies, and let's find our new Liberty Falls zombies calling card. So there's our Liberty Falls early completion, which, I mean, it's kind of cool. And where is our little Liberty Falls turtle one? Now, some of these do get mixed together, and it is very difficult to find the calling card sometimes. So bear with me for just a second while we go through our calling cards. There is our regular, yep, that's the regular Liberty Falls one. We have all of the maps with the early calling cards. Jeez Louise, where did they bury this thing? You know, you would think that they would, like, group the calling cards together, but yeah, sometimes they're extremely difficult to find. Okay, there we go. I had to go to all calling cards. So there it is. the Liberty Falls completion Cowabunga Cranked. That is your hardcore Easter egg. Let's go ahead and put it in the showcase. And what is the difference? Well, personally, I think that is rather depressing right there, folks. The difference on the calling card is quite literally a brown turtle shell. A very small brown turtle shell in the bottom right-hand corner. I mean, sure, I suppose if you wanted to flex, I guess, but they could have done a much, much better job with the calling card. So overall, completely doable, definitely doable with Gobblegums. It makes it 10 times easier, especially if you get lucky, but at the end of the day, are the rewards worth it for the Cowabunga mode? Personally, I don't think they are. Let me know what you think in the comment section. As I mentioned earlier, if you enjoyed the video, do me a huge favor, slap the like button, leave a comment on it. If you want to support the channel directly, you can leave a sticker if you want, and I will see everybody in the next video. Till then, my brothers and sisters, thy Legion, stay frosty. Alright, it was a little unintentional, but I know I said I was going to show the augments at the end of the video, so we're going to go ahead and do that real quick. For anybody that's interested in the augments I was using, Stamina Up, pretty simple, normal augments, Free Faller, so you're immune to fall damage, and Hot Foot, Quick Revive, Dying Wish, the minor augment doesn't matter. Juggernog is one that does matter, Probiotic and Hardened Plates. Melee Macchiato, unimportant because we didn't even melee. Vulture Aid, pretty important for Fetid Upgrade and Picky Eater. That way we kept getting our grenades and decoys back. Speed Cola, also fairly important for Supercharge, so the Stop Timer Field Upgrade would come back more often. And then I had Quick Swap, just in case I wanted to swap weapons faster. PhD Flopper, obviously we had that increased sliding speed. That's actually what we got a little too carried away with when we were, sliding around and we dropped the canister. Death Perception, completely irrelevant. Don't worry too much about it. Deadshot Daiquiri, your basic setup, Dead Head, Dead Break. Elemental Pop, I was using Citrus Focus and Chillberry because I was going to put an ammo mod on, but I didn't have enough salvage to get the ammo mod as well. So basically, Elemental Pop was completely useless to us. If I did get an ammo mod, I was planning on either using Dead Wire to give everything a stunned effect with the Lightning Strike, or Napalm Burst with Big Game and Contact Burn, simply to, do more damage to the HVTs. But again, it's entirely personal preference. So those are the augments that I was running for that run. Now I need to figure out what would be a good thumbnail. Honestly, what would be a good thumbnail for that? The rewards look pretty terrible, and there's no difference between the, beginning. There's just no difference with that. I don't know. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Come on, chat.